Hello, and welcome back to the Introduction to Mycotoxin module. We had just talked about the impact of these mycotoxin contamination to the food security. Now we're going to talk about the public health aspect, how it affects human and animal health as well. So we can't really talk about public health without understanding and recognizing that there is a major interactions between human health and which is influenced significantly by the interaction with animals and the environment. So understanding how these all connect is significantly important. So we can't really talk about public health in humans without also looking back at how animals' health is also affected. So mycotoxins will contaminate food that serves as human food, but also as animal feed. This significantly shows how important the toxins contamination are to not just human health, but also animal health overall. Public health concern will range from short-term mild gastroenteritis like vomiting, nausea, to deadly to potentially deadly cases. For example, in Kenya in 2004, they experienced an outbreak of aflatoxicosis where with the overconsumption of highly contaminated aflatoxin contaminated grains, they had death cases of people having aflatoxicosis, which means they just died from overconsumption of this high levels amount of aflatoxin. And then there is long term. For the long term, these symptoms also significantly differ from genotoxicity and immunotoxicity, and we're going to go slightly into more details on the next slides. So this picture shows an overview of like the different categories of the big health concerns for both animals and humans that are originating from consumption of high levels of mycotoxins. Some of these include liver damage, kidney damage, immune deficiency, cancers, nerve damage. Some of these mycotoxins, again, like we had discussed earlier, are neurotoxins, and they will cause nerve damages and some DNA damages, again, leading back to the cancer cases as well. So I have a table with a bit of like every toxin, every mycotoxin that I introduced to you two with their toxicology levels. I won't go through every one of them, but I want you to look at this table. Feel free to take a pause and see what some of these problems are as well if you want to. But what I want for you to take away is they significantly again ranges from mild gastrointestinal cases, but to really highly dangerous cases like cancers. So, for example, for aflatoxin, we just talked about again mild gastrointestinal diseases to long-term potential liver cancers, reduction in weight gain of animals, reduction in feed efficiency because animals are now vomiting and they're not immune and their productivity is really low. So in animals, in people, we see gastrointestinal diseases, but in animals, we see these poultry and cattle and swine susceptibility to consumption of these feed, which significantly reduces their productivity and growth. Another one that is not talked about that I found really interesting as well as much. Again, there is kidney toxicity and renal tumors that's been experienced with ochratoxin in rodents. Fumonisin, for example, leads to these, it's known as the moldy corn poisoning that in horses. So if you're a horse fanatic, if you're a horse fan, these there's a toxicity called equine leukoencephalomalacia. Yeah, so this is really just, it is also referred to as moldy corn poisoning, which is a neurotoxin. It causes neurotoxicity, the toxicity in the brain of the horses, leading to the loss of stability, so the horses can control their stability as well, blindness, Yeah, like so like there's a range of these different problems that originate from these mycotoxins all the way to, say, for example, zearalenone that has been shown to lead to infertility and milk production reduction in cows, disturbance of the development process, abortions in cattle as well. So these significantly contributes to not just big human problems like the development of liver, kidney cancers and damages and lung cancers, but it also affects the animals and their productivity and their growth development. And so it shows you like the public health concerns are not just for humans, but also One Health with animals as well. And it causes significant problems to the public health aspect. So yeah, that concludes the problems the mycotoxin contamination causes with public health. And I hope you've learned how important and how significant of cases these are. And we will then be continuing with their development. How do we start? Where does it come from? And how can we protect ourselves from it potentially? Thank you.